telecommunications sector in Oman is at an interesting phase at the moment. With, of course, the third operators and talks about 5G going about town, we decided who best to talk about these topics than Ian Dench, the CEO of Ooredoo Oman. Ladies and gentlemen, joining the conversation with Apex Live, Ian Dench. Ian, it's wonderful to have you on our show today. Thank you so much for having our team over.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So moving on, Ooredoo especially, it has been very successful in a digital transformation over the past few years. And according to the reports that we have, you're very successful in implementing almost 95% of network coverage across the Sultanate. So when it comes to this, have you been able to achieve your targets in terms of network coverage as a service provider in the Sultanate, and especially when it comes to providing fast internet as well?
Yeah. So look, we see high-speed digital connectivity as the engine, the backbone of a digital economy, the future economy. And so we've invested heavily over recent years in our network, and in particular over the last 2 years in our 4G network. As you rightly said, it covers now 96% of the population. And why are we doing that? Because we believe that, as it says there, we want customers to enjoy it. We want our customers to enjoy the internet. And we believe that we are digital enablers. And the network, whether it's the mobile network or indeed the fixed network, and we continue to roll out fiber as well throughout the Sultanate, are key to that future digital economy.
Right. That being said, with 95%, 96%,
96, yes.
96, there's the extra percent out there. But, after achieving such heavy and, good targets, right now the talk of the town is the third mobile operator entering the market. And when it comes to that, what is the competitive advantage that Ooredoo has? And, how is this going to change, say, the dynamics of service and, the telecom sector out here in the Sultanate?
So you're quite right, there's been talk about third operator for some time. There was some interesting news last week about certain large global operators being involved in that. And that's very exciting for the sector. We welcome competition, and for us actually it's a good opportunity to look at what we do well, what we don't do well, and prepare ourselves internally for competition and of course out in the market. But we don't really focus too much on that. We really focus on our own plans. And our own plans, as I mentioned earlier, are, we see ourselves as digital enablers. And what makes us unique is that focus on being a digital enabler. And there's three key components to that. One is having a great network, great high-speed network. As I mentioned, that's the backbone of a digital economy. So we invested heavily in the last 2 or 3 years on our network. Second thing is having great products and services. In particular, bringing affordable internet to customers and to businesses. So that's the second pillar. And the third pillar is having a great digital experience. Increasingly customers want to interact with us. They don't necessarily need to visit our shops. They want to interact through us through the app or through the web. So we're investing heavily in digitizing all of our services as well, with a particular focus on having an awesome app. Yeah. And if you look right now in the App Store, you'll see our app is rated 4.0 or something. We put a lot of effort into the user experience, how easy it is to use, to subscribe for services, to change services, etc.
You have an advantage of, say, cutting-edge innovation already, but do you think this also gives you the opportunity to, say, further dive into a culture of innovation?
Innovation is really a key element of our industry. It's what the teams do day in, day out. So if you see a new product, that's a result of people brainstorming ideas, looking for new ideas, looking at market research, looking at customer feedback. If you look at the technology team, they're looking at how can we get our network deeper into rural areas. So the teams are constantly working on innovative ideas. It's part of what we do. It's part of how we build up our plans for the year. Another example, recently, the team working with technology partners, we introduced the chatbot. So this is artificial intelligence. This is adding a new dimension to the customer experience. So now you have an artificial intelligence chatbot actually now it takes 50% of our interactions with customers already, only launched in October. So this is a new innovation. And now the team are looking at how can we improve that more? How can we add more benefit to our customers. So for example, a next phase with a chatbot might be to integrate with our back-end system so that you can ask the chatbot, what's my outstanding bill? What's my outstanding credit? So it's a continuous process of innovation, and that's what we do, and that's what we're really proud of here at Ooredoo.
Right. Let's move on to 5G. I mean, we cannot have an interview without touching on 5G right now, since that is the talk of the town.
It's the talk of the industry, that's true.
So it's said that, the 5G network is going to be 20 times faster than the 4G network, which I personally find 4G also to be quite fast. But what's your take on that? Are we ready in terms of how have we gone about in the Sultanate, getting ready for the entire 5G network coming into town?
There are a number of really important factors impacting the evolution to 5G, and there are some interesting developments, let's say. So first of all, I think it's a very interesting time for 5G. You're right, it's the talk of the town. There's news throughout the world, different operators in different countries, yes, clambering to be the first to launch, for example. But this is an interesting time because if you look back a year or two, the talk was always about 5G's coming, 5G's coming.
Right.
Now it's very much here. And the interesting thing about 5G compared to 4G is not only is the network ready, but there are already devices in the market. There are already handsets available. So when we do launch 5G, there will be handsets. They might be a little bit expensive to start with, but the prices soon come down. So this is one important factor. So the technology is ready, and the devices are available.
Right.
So that's one factor. Another important factor, and this is really, really key, is that the government here, and in particular the Ministry of Communications and the TRA, have prepared the way with making the spectrum available and making it available to the operator. So we're very, very pleased for the support and the leadership that we've seen, from the government and from the TRA in terms of making the spectrum available for operators. So having the spectrum, having the technology, now it's just a case for us to, get on and make the service available.
Right. So how do you think does this change things for, say, the service providers and the consumers especially at the moment?
So, of course, for consumers, it's faster speed. And, we know how our smartphones are getting faster. We're all watching more video. The quality of the video that we want, we expect, whether it's, moving from to 4K TV to 8K in the future, for example, so higher resolution. So it's going to be more speed, more data for consumers. For business, this is where it gets interesting. For business, it does mean some, people are talking about the Internet of Things. So one of the unique, or one of the things that's different about 5G is not just the speed, it's what they call the latency. It's the time that it takes for the signal to go sort of a round trip back to the device. So this means that things like autonomous vehicles, flying taxis are possible. You need that, that instant connection, that always-on connection to the internet. So this makes a lot of things that maybe weren't possible in the past possible.
Opens the door
for even greater innovation. So this is where it gets exciting. And there are lots of use cases out there now. Some of them are more obvious, whether it's connected meters, distribution, connected transportation, and that allows you to collect data, to manage businesses more efficiently. It opens up a whole new innovation area for businesses, and that's the exciting part for us. And we're getting ready to talk to our business customers about how can we use this technology, and if you combine that, with artificial intelligence, with cloud computing, it's sort of infinite and endless possibilities for business with 5G.
Thank you, Ian. That was Ian Dench spelling out the secrets of the telecommunications sector. Thank you.